Welcome to episode 6 of Let's Have Words. I'm Jonathan Stone, and this podcast is produced by Forerunner. If you have any questions about getting involved with this show or having Forerunner produce any of your content, please contact us on Facebook. Let's just restart this. Facebook. I don't even know what Facebook is.
We don't cut.
I know.
You know this.
All right, Facebook, or email us at info@forerunner.tv. Also, big news, guys. We are officially on Apple Podcast. I saved that for you. I haven't told you yet.
Woot.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all that fun stuff. But if you want to tune in and watch the live version, which you're doing right now, if you can see what's going on, you are on YouTube. So that's wonderful too. Please like, comment, subscribe, and smash that like button. That helps us get all kinds of content produced to you, and that's what we do the fun for. So a quick reminder that this episode is brought to you by Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon makes you feel all clean and good and smell like a man, and it is wonderful. It's everything is made in the United States of America, and sales go towards veterans. So if you want to use my code and get 10% off your purchase, use BBLHW for Let's Have Words. BBLHW. Would you stop? He's over there eating that Twix and staring at me. I wish the camera was on him. Golly.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, we're going to hop into this episode. This week's episode is one of my good friends, Brad Bunger. You may have seen Brad around town. He does all kinds of home improvement. He does all kinds of, contracting work. The man is just a genius. We go way back. Our families go way back. So let's have words with Brad Bunger. Awesome. Are you happy to be here?
Yeah. Totally stoked to be here, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Since I've seen you.
Well, but we also had our time, at the Horn.
That's right. The Horn. That's one thing I wanted to get into today. You asked, what do I want to talk about with what we could even talk about? Because everybody that comes on here thinks nothing I say is going to be interesting.
General criteria, whatever you want to kind of, I'm just like, man, we can talk whatever. When you send me the message, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, man. We usually just have a good time, for lack of a better word, just bullshitting.
Yeah, absolutely nothing gets discussed. That's of importance.
No, I meant me and him too.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the podcast.
oh, thanks, man. You're so sweet. So no, Brad
ratings just went up.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Subscribe button.
I'm gonna smash Booba's head if he keeps on with that. No, we go way back. Our families go way back. So my aunt and Ron Ann worked together. And then Ron Ann and my mom have been friends, and then your family knows my wife Jennifer pretty well.
Yeah.
And then we started working. When I started working at Longhorn, you had been there for years.
I was there for a long time, about 9 years.
9 years.
Cooking food, yes, for all of Bowling Green and surrounding counties.
Yeah, everybody from Scottsville on a Friday night.
Oh man, yeah, man, I can't even get into some of that.
He's a soaky chef.
That's exactly right. No, Brad was a great cook. Do you consider yourself a chef or a cook?
Well, actually, a long time ago, I was self-taught. Well, not self-taught. I was chef trained, so I didn't go to school to be a chef. So how I learned was I got a job at a restaurant downtown, used to be there, called The Cellar.
Yeah.
It was a great place. The chef was awesome. He taught me, everything that he knows. And so I asked him, I was like, well, how do you know when you're a chef? He's like, whenever you feel confident enough to call yourself a chef. I'm like, okay.
So are you a chef?
Yes, I'm a chef.
Do you cook a lot at home?
Yeah, I'm the only one that cooks at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a big health nut? Like, y'all eat pretty healthy, or is it like the kids are like, we want ramen?
No, and I'm cool with ramen.
I am too.
The chef that taught me, man, he taught me how to do egg drop soup with ramen. He taught me how to add vegetables in with ramen and stuff like that to actually. And I can't knock ramen. I'll eat ramen just on a random occasion.
Amen.
Yeah, ramen's good, man.
Ramen's good. It's cheap too.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Especially with what's about to go down with the meat prices and all that. Man,
everything.
Find a way to eat cheap, people.
Yeah, and so what's funny about it is when I cook, I use every pot in the house, every pan in the house. And so Ron, she's like, can't we just go get something to eat somewhere? I'm like, but no, it's going to be better. And she's like, well, you're going to spend at least more. We're not saving money by you cooking food. So
and then we got to clean.
Yeah, it's like a 4-course, sides and meats and protein. I mean, but I always like to have fresh meat, fresh food. You know what I mean? When you go to a restaurant, You know, I've been into restaurants, and there's nothing bad that comes in the backs of kitchens.
No.
From any one of them that I've worked at. So everybody's, paranoia is you send a steak back, they're going to mess with it. No, never seen it.
I've never seen it happen.
12 years of being in the restaurant industry, I never ever seen anybody mess with anything. So knock that stereotypical thought definitely out of your heads.
Yeah. I think people have this perception of what cooks, of what restaurant people are like.
Right.
And
waiting didn't help.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, you're right. People send a steak back and they immediately think, oh, it's going to come back with spit on it.
Oh, yeah.
Look, people, it doesn't happen.
They're going to drop it on the floor. No, no, absolutely. No, we're going to, at Longhorn, I can vouch for Longhorn. We're going to prepare it right. We're
going to try to.
Right. We're going to try and kick it back out to you as fast as possible. But those days, man, and in the restaurant, it's not like you're taking your time and cooking a steak. There'll be times where I'd have like 50 steaks on the flat top or whatever, and a couple on the char grill, which is the flame grill or whatever. And just constantly turning food around.
Yeah. Yeah. Places like people understand how busy Bowling Green, Kentucky is for food too.
Oh yeah.
I think at one point we were top 3 in the nation for restaurants per capita.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if we're still in the top 5. It'd be hard to believe. But everywhere you look, there's a bank and a Mexican restaurant going up right now.
That and banks for sure. And I don't understand where or why we have that many banks. You know what I mean? I can't understand why it's like you got one here and then like a bird's eye, or how crow flies or whatever. You got one a mile away.
Yeah.
So which one do you want people to go to?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What I mean? Is there certain areas that you want to have these?
Do you have that pulled up, Buva?
What's that? What is it?
I think he's looking at restaurant per capita.
Oh, okay.
Y'all keep talking. I'll find it.
The restaurant, but what's crazy about it is like there's certain things that like what's that one buffet place?
Ryan's?
No. We don't have it.
Hometown Buffet.
But it's
Ponderosa.
Golden Corral. Why don't we have a Golden Corral?
Dude, the chocolate fixation station. I don't even like chocolate, and I go in there and I'm like, I need some chocolate.
What's going on with that?
I don't think
I never left a Golden Corral feeling good though.
I don't know that during a global pandemic they're just building Golden Corrals left and right though.
True, but you would think.
Why didn't we have one before?
Right?
Yeah.
I used to know people though. Like if the buffet was $6.99, they were getting $18 worth.
Oh yeah.
They stay there for 4 or 5 hours.
That's my dad.
But I can't take the family to it because my kids will eat like a plate, and I'm paying like whatever the price. The best buffet I've ever had was in Vegas, hands down.
Really?
Oh my gosh, hands down. It was insane. Like whenever you describe ethnicities of food, that was every ethnicity from Indian to Chinese and Japanese. Everything, dude. Then they had like seafood bars. They had a cappuccino bar, dude. It was.
My God.
But it was like $40 a person to go in and eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're gonna want to get your money out of it.
Yeah.
I'll take 15 pounds of crab.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought that in the restaurant industry, like, don't get me wrong, a filet is great.
Yeah.
But you can make a filet at home and make it freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But if you go to a restaurant and you're getting a 6 or 8 ounce filet and you're paying $25 for that,
Right.
I can't justify it.
No, I can't.
You can go get a bone-in ribeye for the same price.
You can go get 4 ribeyes right now for that price. You know what I mean? So for now, until everything.
Until this
whatever.
meat shortage goes crazy.
Yeah. Meat shortage, gas shortage, mask shortage, everything shortage. Honestly, in contracting, like it is getting to be a challenge. A friend of mine on Facebook posted this long message about contractors in general right now. We're working day and night.
Was it Todd?
Yeah.
I didn't know you know Todd.
Yeah, so
that's like my dude. That's my best friend.
So his post on there was like, hey, don't be mad at us. If we don't get back to you directly, I apologize. This is my, apology, and my apology to people that are watching this too. But not just because I'm working a day in a house, remodeling, doing whatever, doesn't mean that at night I'm just kicking back and relaxing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm also still trying to find materials, because materials right now are really getting to be a challenge. Bathtubs, faucets, and then stuff in stock that you typically need. Because, if you're putting in one thing and you're holding on one piece, that literally slows the flow
Absolutely.
of progress and getting things done. So,
yeah.
it's really becoming a challenge. And We do chimneys also, and I think I'm gonna start pushing chimney work pretty hard.
Because
right
brick is pretty easy right now, isn't it?
Well, it's we just refurbish them. You know what I mean? So like if somebody's got a leaky chimney and stuff, we go up and resurface concrete, put new flue caps on, seal in all the cracks and crevices.
Yeah.
Basically put like a Rain-X on it to make it bead down instead of absorb. You know what I mean? So, and from my research and from what I know from all my contractor buddies, is that there's only 2 people in this area that does it, me and another guy.
Yeah.
So it's a market I'm definitely wanting to tap into.
That's
sure.
neat.
I love remodeling, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But summer months, I think, require summer projects. And cooler months, require to be inside. But inside, outside, I don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
But, I mean, if you're working in Longhorn, how many times did heat go out when we were in that building?
How many times did the AC go out?
That's
the
AC
thing.
and heat.
The AC, whenever we'd be back there, it'd be like literally we'd have a thermometer, temperature gauge probe. We had probes and gauges and all that other stuff. It'd be like 110 degrees on the line.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
with all those grills going.
Yeah, it's like, let me get y'all a bunch of Gatorades and Red Bulls. It's like, why? So we could sweat it out and be jacked up?
Let me stand in a bucket of ice, man.
Yeah, here's some cold compresses. It's like, no. Well, I mean, one guy, I mean, he got heat stroke sitting inside over a fryer. It's 350 degrees. You had a grill, 425 degrees.
I don't know if I was there for that.
Yeah, I remember that day specifically. But it's the holidays that hammer you. It's the Valentine's. It's the
Black
New
Friday.
Year's, Black Friday. Black Friday wasn't what it used to be. I remember Black Friday back in the day before all this online shopping, and the mall would be, I mean, just full.
Oh yeah.
And we'd actually have to block off the parking lot so people couldn't park there. But then once the floodgates opened per se, I mean, it would just instantly fill up with everybody bound shopping.
I think we started serving lunch. Normally we open at 11. I think we started serving lunch at like 9 a.m. at one point.
It was
a nightmare.
Those days, and then that kind of slowly just started declining, as far as like what people are wanting to eat, when they're wanting to eat, but then also online shopping took a hold of everything. And it's really, Ron Ann, she loves to do the Black Fridays and stuff like that. There is no appeal to me on any of that. One, shopping in general. Yeah. Two, running around trying to get around to everybody. I mean, great. I'm sure that the deals are great, but like it's like, I guess her shopping is like me going out and finding like good pieces of wood to do some carpentry or something, because I love doing carpentry too. I really do, but right now is a very bad time to be doing carpentry.
Have you always been into contracting and this kind of creative thing? Because I don't remember that part of you.
No,
I remember just making fun of people, dogging on people, man. We just have roast parties.
Oh yeah.
People come in and we just look at each other and
we just look at each other like, you want to start or you?
You're up.
I got this.
You're up.
It's like countdown. It's like, who's gonna laugh first? And it's like, we don't have to say words. We're just gonna laugh. Be like, hey, you have to come here and check it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, yeah.
But have you always been into woodworking and carpentry work and all that kind of
remodel and stuff like that? No, honestly, no. I've had a lot of different jobs, a lot of different places I've worked at. I was in the restaurant industry for 12 years. I managed, I opened up the Shogun Bistro, the bistro side.
I remember that.
Opened up Buckhead Cafe. Opened up a place called Entourage downtown.
I remember that.
And then worked, Longhorn was the bread and butter, and then those other little, mom and pop restaurants that I worked at was my evening, work and stuff. That's where the creative, because Longhorn's a set menu. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then you go to the
corporate.
Yeah. So then you go picture perfect food.
Yeah.
So then you go to the other mom and pops and you get freedom. You know what I mean? You can make it look good, send it out. In fact, I did live cooking one time.
What?
On WBKO, yeah. Yeah. Cooked chicken carbonara. Carbonara.
Is that like a chicken with pasta?
It's pasta and bacon and peas and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago. We did, I've done a couple things live. We used to have like a radio spot too.
I remember those.
Tony Rose.
Yeah, Tony Rose would do that.
But no, as far as like contracting and stuff, I've always done things. I've always built things. I guess a DIYer turned into, we flipped that house, and that was an awesome project, which led ultimately, put me in that position because, I was in a factory. Of course, again, I've had many different jobs, different titles. a real bad accident happened at the factory, and I mean, something like that just kind of sticks with you, it resonates for the rest of your life. So I just couldn't do that, So we ended up, getting that house, flipping it, and then here we are. You know what I mean? I don't know how many years that was ago. 3 years?
It had to be at least 3.5. But you started before we sold it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was almost a year project.
Oh, yeah. It was
a gut and remodel.
Floors, paint, wall. I mean, exterior, interior. It was 2 units. I mean, it was a good learning project to learn tricks, speed, how to figure things out. You know what I mean? Plumbing and stuff like that. Because there's no manual on this stuff. There's stuff that you have to do correctly. You know what I mean? There is a manual, I guess you could say, definitely. I mean, that's building per code and stuff like that. But when it comes to creative, that's just all part of the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, think about people like 200 years ago that were just, settling and building whatever it is that they wanted to build.
Right.
And they built these some structures that are still standing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful structures that are still standing.
My infatuation is log houses.
Same.
I love how big those hand-hewed beams, I don't know how they did it. I mean, I'd like to know how long realistically it would take to build by scratch with an axe and a saw a log house that's actually of decent square footage. You know what I mean? Not something that's like a little shanty or anything, but like a house. You know what I mean?
Do you think you could build something like that, Booba? Booba's pretty good on the woodworking, and he's pretty creative. Could you build a log cabin?
Dude, me and my dad used to watch this show called Pioneer Carpenter or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he would do that.
I wonder how long it takes.
I mean, it's, according to what we saw, just to like fit like 5 logs was a whole day. So if you're building a small like 12 by 20 room, like log cabin, like back in the day,
right? Yeah,
probably a month.
Which is like a single room.
Yeah,
but then the stone chimney itself, you know what I mean? Those chimneys that they had in fireplaces, you literally were able to walk into them because that's where you did all your cooking and stuff like that. So watching the old show, like remodeling this old house or refurbishing, or I can't remember the name of the shows that I would watch, but they'd have these huge stones, I mean, that probably weigh 500 pounds, and that's like instead of a mantelpiece, they had this stone. You know what I mean? And then you could literally like creep down, crouch down and step inside of it. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling for somebody like me because there's no way that my brain could understand that.
Just like you said, 5 logs in a day. I guess that's a really good day.
Yeah.
That's why most of like pioneer homes don't exist anymore, because they built them in the ground. Like they would find a big hill, hewn out half of it. Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously bare wood in the ground, it rots out.
Right. And it just sinks. And then imagine the chinking that they had. Chinking's what you have to put in between the logs and stuff like that. You literally, it's like trying to do plaster work, which is my bane. You know what I mean? Plaster, you got like 15 minutes, man. You make a batch, you got to set it in, and then you got to start all over.
I'm so glad that plaster is not the thing here in Kentucky.
Oh, dude.
If you get north of Ohio, it's all plaster.
Oh, really? Yeah. And lath, I can't never pronounce it right. L-A-T-H-E, lath.
Somebody comment, lathe, lath.
Lath, yeah. I don't,
Who gives a shit?
Gold jacket. Green jacket.
I follow these builders from Boston, and all of theirs is lath and plaster.
Yeah. Man, that's tough. That's tough stuff too, man. How they smooth it out, I have no idea. But even drywall's a challenge. I'll get, somebody be like, well, I need my basement drywall. And I'm like, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
Because
I can hang drywall all day.
Right. It's just the sanding, the mudding, you know what I mean? Because
that wall behind you, that took me 3 weeks to build.
Nice. It's nice.
The complex curve down
You can't even see that he's touching it.
I almost wore a white T-shirt.
Oh, that would have been terrible.
And Ron, she was like,
his set's white.
Yeah.
You would have been just like a floating head.
And like dark head and arms. And stuff. I also need a shout out to my kids, because I told them that I was going to be on YouTube, and they were like, oh, Mom.
Let me tell you something about his kids.
Brody, Riley, Braylon. Hey guys, I love you guys.
They are such good kids. And I'm not taking anything away from the twins. I just don't know them as well.
Right.
But I want Charlotte to grow up just like your kids. They are so sweet. They're so well behaved. I used to when I was waiting tables at Longhorn, they would still come in and see me. And I guess Bri would come in at least once a week.
Yeah, whether it was with us. I mean, because, you know, we're like alumni. You know what I mean? I go into Longhorn and I'm like, you know, a server will come up and I'll, you know, basically ramble off the menu or an item that's not on there. So I'm like, how did you know that? I'm like,
Now, let me get that Rocky Top chicken. Yeah. We don't have that. Bet you do.
Bet you'll make it.
Yeah, I bet you'll make it.
I'll take the Texas burger. What's that? Well, you start off with an 8-ounce burger. You put cheddar cheese and bacon and chili, jalapenos, and sour cream, and then serve it to me with a fork, please.
Yeah, give it to me. But it's so funny because, I mean, they are such good kids. But then you hear stories. Everybody thinks their kids are, you know, everybody else's.
Hung the moon.
Your kids are great. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you told me the story about the twins disappearing.
Oh, yeah.
And taking their little
power wheel.
The power wheel across the street to the
that
school.
Was, you know, that's one of those parental moments where you're just like, thanks for bringing that back up. Flashbacks. You know?
But it was such a funny story because their little truck could only fit through the one spot that they happened to go through.
And I don't know how Brody was able to compromise that. You know what I mean? It blows my mind. I think there were like 2, maybe 3 at the time.
Yeah,
he was able to slide through this one spot. You know, it's just like...
He's like, we just went driving.
Like, what'd you drive through the fence? Are you magic? Did you like ghost through it? I mean...
No, Dad, it fits.
Yeah, right?
He's like, no, actually, Dad, when I went through it, it went right... Did you lose a mirror? No, mirror's still there.
Well, I had to go up and I had to back up, and then I pulled forward and I backed up. See, I had to turn the wheel to the left.
Yeah.
And then like,
but your kids are so funny. They're so self-sufficient. Like, I'm telling you, Briley's she's the most adult kid.
I can say that comes from Ron Ann, for sure.
The independency?
For sure, yeah. Because I'm like the dad that's got like 3 backpacks on, walking in the house after picking them up at school, you know, and she's like, what are you doing? They need to carry their own. I'm like, I know.
I just want to.
I just want to help. That's all, you know. And honestly, I guess that's just where the remodeling and stuff like that go. You know, I'll get a phone call and they're like, "We really need help." I'm like, "I'm on my way."
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm there right now.
Let's see what we got to do.
Yeah, you did ours. You did the plumbing under our house.
Yeah, that was, you know, just a little leak. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
Did I tell you what happened? Why I refused to do that? I think you do remember this. All right. So I'm under the house. We heard this little drip, drip, drip. And I'm under the house in the crawl space. And I've got the flashlight and I'm videoing it for you. And then I cut it off and I'm walking. I set my hand down to turn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And there's a snake skin. Had to be this big. I'm not exaggerating. Had to be this. Which means the snake is now
that big. Right?
That big.
What is he eating?
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
What are you grubbing on down there?
My problem is the existence of the snake, period.
Right, yeah.
And now I don't know where it is, but I do know I touched the snake skin and I had a panic attack under the house, and I'm trying to get out, and Jennifer's laughing at me, and the dog's barking. He thinks something's wrong. And she's like, well, is he going to come over? And I slammed that thing shut, and I was like, you can do it.
Oh, man.
Because she thought it was funny.
Right.
It's not funny.
Not funny. That drip was a beat too. You know what I mean? I was like, and then I was like, I get down with that.
It was the perfect little beat. It sounded like a metronome, you know, in music.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you know what I mean? As far as being underneath the house, there's not much I don't worry about other than spiders. Arachnophobia did it in for me. That movie, Arachnophobia.
I've never seen that.
What?
Pull that up.
Have you not seen Arachnophobia?
Number 1.
Oh my!
When you say arachnophobia, I just think SpiderMan. Number 2, spiders do not bother me. Like if there was a tarantula right here between me and you,
I wouldn't be sitting here.
But see, I'd be like, eh.
Oh god!
It wouldn't bother me.
You'd do that. I mean, I'd be afraid his legs would like wrap around your hand, and I'd be like,
it doesn't bother me. Are there big actors in this movie?
I can't remember.
Isn't John Goodman in it?
I can't see it. Okay, I think so, but like I watched it once, and it turns into this like a spider army of like invading houses. And we're not talking about like big spiders, like, you know, like monsters. We're talking like brown recluses. You know what I mean?
We won't have sound because I don't have that hooked up.
Oh man!
I just want y'all to watch this.
Yeah, so we'll give you the play-by-play of what's happening.
I don't.
So spiders bother
have a panic attack.
Hollywood Pictures. I've never even heard of this movie.
What? You've never heard of Arachnophobia? You're gonna go home tonight and watch it, man.
I probably will. Is it a good movie?
Dude, it's just, it freaks me out. like good movie. It was like the change in my life.
He plays the same character in everything. That's not John Goodman. That's Jeff Daniels, isn't it?
Jeff Daniels. He did.
John Goodman's in it too.
Oh, okay.
He did Dumb and Dumber with.
Yeah.
See. Yeah. Yeah.
I have terrible fear of spiders.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah. Terrible fear of spiders, don't we all? Yeah, don't go up there. You know you don't want to go up there.
Oh yeah, he's done for.
Hollywood Pictures and Amblin Entertainment
Is it supposed to be a comedy?
No. It's not funny to me.
There's John Goodman.
He's always great.
Would anybody object if I tore this floor? False alarm, then lead on. There's no spider here. Every so often.
I do like John Goodman.
This looks
There's a rumor going around.
this looks funnier
Yeah.
than it looks scarier.
Yeah, no.
Spiders make convenient culprits. There's no spider.
Man, I'm telling you.
I think one of your Venezuelan spiders hitched a ride here. There may be some spiders around here that are very dangerous.
This is crazy.
Just run. They spread out from a central
Dude, they
nest.
come. They're like in cereal boxes and shoes, and then.
So
Yeah,
they just
see?
they just infested the house,
Oh, or like the whole town.
the town.
Yeah,
So
the
it's like the
town.
birds, but with spiders.
Yeah.
See now, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds terrifies me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Turn this. This is horrible.
And Amblin
Oh yeah. No.
Well, what they don't tell you is that the spiders are like extremely venomous
Yeah.
and like kill you.
Yes. Like so, like everybody starts peeling off in this town. You know what I mean? It's like, like the one guy eating the popcorn and.
Well,
and
the scene that
but-
got
oh, no.
that got me was when it crawled in the football player's helmet.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The one that gets me, and still to this day, if I would leave a pair of boots like in my building that I,
I still
have,
shake them out.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuck his foot inside of it and got bit, and was like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
no way, man, dude, I'm telling you, man, that movie changed my life. Like, looking at that, and then like the different scenarios of
Pull
where
us
one
back
could
up.
be. Hi.
No.
Aww.
I just want to see myself.
It changed my life.
But,
That movie changed my life. Spiders
really?
underneath the house. Yeah, you can pretty much.
Yeah, spiders don't bother me, man. They say you swallow spiders every year while you're asleep, and
True story.
I don't know if that's true, if it's like an urban legend or whatever, but
I don't want to.
I would rather think, oh yeah, I'm swallowing spiders. Rather, I check my floorboards for snakes when I get in my car.
Oh really?
Well, I've got that Wrangler now, and I don't keep the windows on it.
All right.
And it's like, anything can
I
happen.
remember
That's right.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Never heard of it.
That came out when we were in high school.
It sounds familiar.
It's like giant spiders.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh
not,
yeah,
that's,
that
I
sounds like
can't.
Tremors at that point.
Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
Tremors.
Which is
This was the
Tremors 1, 2,
It had
3.
David Arquette in it.
oh okay. I mean,
Oh yeah. But he always plays a goofball in movies too. So
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Jeff Daniel. I've
Yeah.
never seen him play a serious role ever. I know he has some, but I've never seen.
I can't think of anything. I also
This movie
Dumb and
scared-
Dumber's the only thing.
This movie scared me right here.
What is that? Sharknado.
Oh,
that
really?
scared you?
Really?
You're kidding.
I've never seen it.
Yes, I'm kidding.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
I was like, I've never. I've caught shark before.
What kind?
Don't remember. We used to live when I was in kindergarten. We lived in South Carolina.
Okay.
That's where I started school, and we'd go out and we'd shark fish and catch crabs and stuff like that.
Red
But-
snapper.
Well, no, it was more. I mean,
Well, they're not on that side of the coast. They're more Gulf, I think.
Well, I hooked one, and I kept telling my dad I had a bite, and he was like, "No, you don't. It's just the ocean. We're going up and down with the boat." And I'm like, "Dad, I got a bite." And he's like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "Dad, I got a bite." And he's like, "No, you don't." Well, next thing you know, the shark's pulling me over the boat, and my dad like yanks the pole, and I mean, it was for a kid. It was like the size of me.
I mean, an
You know.
8-pound fish for a kid can move.
It was, I wouldn't even hold it for the pictures. In fact, my brother Adam, he's the one that's holding it in the pictures. So,
That's neat.
actually, I've held sharks. I mean, there's not much that really freaks me out other than spiders.
That's so funny.
Mice, I can catch mice.
Mice don't bother me. Rats don't bother me. Now, the New York City rats, I mean,
yeah, possums.
yeah. You mean Splinter from the Ninja Turtles?
Splinter.
Yeah, you got this rat that comes out of the sewer, and he's got 4 turtles behind him. He's like, give me all your pizza.
Right.
you're-
Yeah.
oh, jeez.
Splinter. Man, I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Totally. Still am. The kids, they don't get into the cartoons, like we used
How
to.
old were you when that came out? Like 88, 89?
Yeah, you got to think. Well, Adam is years older than me, so whatever he would watch, like Superman and Batman and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that was a short phase. But like G.I. Joe, that was, I mean, I remember having G.I. Joes and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the boy Barbie right there.
Yeah, but you know, with the kids now, they just want to YouTube and watch videos
Yeah.
and you know, fake families and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
TikTok.
It's like, so you're telling me that the parents didn't get on them all day long? Like, really?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It's crazy. Yeah, man, when Ninja Turtles came out, I was tiny, but then the big thing that hit my age group was we had Power Rangers
Yeah.
and then Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I still can understand the Pokemon thing. I still don't understand the Pokemon thing.
I mean,
I don't understand what it is. I've never watched it.
Stands for Pocket Monsters.
Pocket
Because
Monsters?
they fit in those little ball in these. Yeah. So that's what it's Pocket
Really?
Monsters. Yeah.
Wow.
So does that make a little bit more sense?
You just educated me.
Yeah.
Still probably never going to get into it.
No, you probably won't.
But Power Rangers, you know, Brody, you know, he got into Power Rangers for a little bit. He thought it was really cool.
But it was like the newer Power Rangers. Like, surely he wasn't
Yeah,
watching the
no,
old stuff.
no.
The old stuff was so good. Man,
Call it what you want.
when the Green Ranger like wreaked havoc on Angel Grove for like 5 episodes, bro. And then he had that Mecha Godzilla that couldn't even like move.
Yeah.
Like it was totally
I
ripped off
am
of
a
Godzilla.
robot.
Yeah. Yeah. But then like Ninja Turtles was huge. You remember when the Ninja Turtles movies came out though?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
awesome.
The one that they just put out, what, 5, 10 years ago, whatever it was.
The Michael Bay one?
There is a Ninja Turtles, has that Megan Fox. That was
That was the Michael Bay one, right? Yeah.
Man, I liked it.
I didn't care
different.
for it.
It's
Wasn't
different.
Johnny Knoxville one of the characters?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he was Michelangelo.
Oh, really?
Don't hold me to that. I think he was a character though, or maybe he
Really?
auditioned for one.
Maybe.
I should have auditioned
I
for
don't mind
that.
it. You know, and when it comes to movies, I like all the Avengers. I like all the, you know, SpiderMans and Batmans and Supermans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But more if I'm chilling at the house, I'm watching something that's going to educate me.
Really?
Yeah, Street
Do you
Outlaws.
read a lot now?
Do I?
Do you read?
No.
No. Do you listen to like audiobooks or anything like that?
I'm a visual learner. So whenever I
Yeah.
need to learn something, I need to see it and I need to have my hands on it. You know what I mean?
With your DIY stuff, do you watch a lot of YouTube for just self-education like that?
Yeah.
Do you watch Dude Dad?
Dude Dad.
Dude Dad.
Dude Dad.
That will be your new favorite YouTube channel.
I think, you know, I think
Taylor, Heidi, I'm giving you a shout out right now. This guy is very talented and he's going to start doing some of your stuff.
Dude Dad. You know, I think that
Very good.
maybe one of the kids have pulled it up, you know, because it sounds familiar. It definitely sounds
He's
familiar.
funny. He does a really good job. He's incredibly creative.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
you would totally dig his stuff.
You know, we thought about doing YouTube. A friend of ours, you know, kind of suggested, hey, why don't you start recording some of your remodels and stuff
It'd be
like
smart.
that. And me and Ron Ann talked, and we were like, you know who can narrate it? Like the dude from Dirty Jobs, what's his name? That narrates everything on Discovery Channel
Yeah.
or whatever. I was like, Jonathan Stone can narrate it. He's got the voice, man. Mike Rowe, that's who it is.
I mean, I'll
yeah.
narrate anything.
Yeah, I was like, it's a win. And then I was like, Bradley, you think you can do the recording? She's like, yeah, Dad, I'll do. So we had this foolproof plan of like who's gonna record and I'm gonna build.
Dude, we should do it. I mean, in all honesty, these are the guys you want to talk to about video.
Yeah.
These guys right here can just do a fantastic job. Get them to record it, and we'll do editing, we'll do voiceover work, all that kind of fun stuff.
The peak interest happened whenever we met Rick Harris of Pawn Stars in Vegas.
Yeah.
Super nice guy, man. He actually took time and we sat there and discussed how he developed, to be on History Channel and stuff. And, basically he was just like, look, if you've got an idea, you just got to pitch it. You got to put it out to different stations. He said, and History Channel picked us up and here we are. You know what I mean?
I've got an idea for a TV show that I want to do. I'm not going to throw it out here right now, but I'll run it by you afterwards because I think you'd like it. I think Boo Boo would really like it. Swanson, I know would.
I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that. When it comes to like doing live and recording and stuff like that, man,
Here's
I'm
the thing.
comfortable with it.
Everything that has ever existed started from an idea.
Yeah.
And too often we talk ourselves out of crap because we believe it's either A, not interesting, or B, we can't do it.
Right. I can see that.
These little devices right here, probably these are more powerful than any computer that was running during the World Wars. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, you got to dial in just to tell somebody help.
Right.
It takes 20 minutes just to say help.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about it all the time, how these kids on YouTube, like you're saying, or TikTok or something like that, they've got all
TikTok's
this stuff at their fingertips, and they're creating content left and right.
It's like these kids that
We
are
can
like
do it.
teenagers that are like multi-millionaires just because they do silly stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like
man.
they record having a slime pool and it's like got like 14 million views. Like, really?
That's not even fun.
That's all you had to do?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I couldn't make friends in high
This
school.
is an interesting point that I want to get into. Followed Gary Vee for a long time,
Yes.
and he
Love
was
Gary
he
Vee.
was always like, just make content
Every day.
right? But I feel like a lot of people are doing the Gary Vee approach, and they're making content, but it's not getting better.
It's not quality content.
Well, the reason everybody's first stuff is bad.
You got to build into it. You
Yeah,
got to get
yeah.
comfortable with it. You know
But-
what I mean?
There's a standard that, okay, your first film, your first thing was bad, you know it's bad, and you get better.
Yes.
But I feel like in TikTok, there is no pressure to make your content better. So there's no natural inclination to get better. So there's people on TikTok that have been on there, and YouTube, that
Yeah.
have been on there for 10 years, have millions of followers, and their stuff is like the quality, like gear is better, but the
Yeah.
quality of the content is worse.
But doesn't that also fall under who's watching and who's taking in that content? Because to a
Yeah.
6-year-old
Yeah.
that's on TikTok and YouTube, they're like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
But to the 30-year-olds or whatever, it's like, this is terrible.
I mean, I'll be honest. Briley sent me a video last night. My oldest daughter, Briley. She's like, Dad, this is awesome. I'm like, okay, cool. I pulled it up. It's a TikTok video. It's a dad who's got a softball tied to a fishing pole string, and the girl is practicing hitting softball. And when she hits it, it goes out, and then he just reels it back into her. I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah, yeah. And
I like that.
that kind of stuff is neat.
To me, but then, you know what I mean? To the 6-year-olds, they're like, you know.
Yeah, the
whatever,
twins
swipe
would have
left.
no interest in something like
7-year-olds,
that.
yeah.
They'd be like, that's not
My
funny.
twins are 7 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, that ain't, you know. But
Yeah,
then
they-
they'll go back to somebody stacking 10 trampolines high. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
why are you watching that?
And you're seeing a lot of recycling of content now.
Yeah.
Because TikTok and YouTube are getting millions of followers every month.
Yeah.
And
Like
not even
new-
just followers, they're getting millions of new
Yeah.
content creators.
So people are like, it blows my mind. It never fails. It's like a 3-year cycle, especially on Facebook and Instagram, where every 3 years content that you saw is the one that I like that shows up every 3 years is there was a movie called Never Back Down.
I have no idea about this.
No.
So there's a movie called Never Back Down, and it's about a kid that goes. It's the first MMA movie. He goes to a high school where MMA is really big. He gets beat up. He has anger issues. He learns from a master. It's like Karate Kid MMA.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought that was like
Right.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
So
yet.
he comes back
Watch a little bit.
Well, the main bad guy is this like buff Chad, blonde hair, blue eyed, like
Sorry, Chad.
and,
No hard feelings.
Don't beat me up.
And in this tournament, this crazy jujitsu guy's doing all these flips and stuff, and
Yeah.
then this kid just hits him with one punch and knocks him out. Well, someone posted it on Facebook like 10 years ago and said, Marine knocks out crazy jujitsu fighter. And,
Oh, really?
And it's a clip from a movie.
Right.
And that cycles back through. I see that pop up on my Facebook about once every 2 to 3 years.
Well,
Marine knocks out
that's
jujitsu
fun.
fighter.
I think that all has something to do with that movie Social Distancing. I don't know if anybody else watched that about all the. I'm pretty sure it's called not Social
Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Where they
We've
talk
talked about this before.
The Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitters, and how it's a revolving door of how long you stay on certain content
Yeah.
and stuff. Man, there's believability to it, and that's for sure. You know.
Well, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. Was when you say this is content that's recreated over and over and just remade. We've got movies being remade now.
Yeah.
We cannot find a way to get new ideas out there, and I think it stems back to what I was saying was. You don't think your idea is very good,
Right.
Or B, you don't know how to produce it, or you don't
Right.
think you can.
Right.
I mean, there's so many
best
good
way
ideas.
Adam told me was, there's no original idea, when it comes to patents, because there's been certain things that I've wanted to patent. There's certain ideas I'd like to, but you know what I mean. But it takes money to build a patent or to process a patent.
Or just go to Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, right. Pitch the idea and say, yay or nay or whatever. In fact, we know somebody, that went to Shark Tank and has turned out very successful because of it. So he said that there's no original ideas. It's what you do with that original idea that can create a patent, a reason to patent. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can cut wood, but if I can cut it faster, if I can cut it quicker, if I can, make it this way or that way, well then, that's a way to move. And you're not changing the idea. Well, you're not creating the idea. You're just changing the idea. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
There is no original ideas. I mean, everything and anything when it comes to like them building ladders or putting walls up. You know what I mean? It's like somebody's done it.
Yeah, if you get down to the nitty gritty, there's nothing that is so original that we can't at least draw a comparison to something else.
Right. So if you think about like what was before TikTok? Where did you know what I mean? Was YouTube? Okay.
Snapchat, the Vine.
Vine. Yeah,
Vine was probably.
See, so somebody took an idea and then.
So why did Vine disappear? But TikTok is doing so well.
TikTok is, crazy.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't have TikTok and I don't watch it. There's certain things that, like I said, Briley will send me, and I don't understand it. I thought it was all dancing.
First off, let me just say
it was all dancing.
I was in performing and all that growing up in high school, and man, I was made fun of and teased and dogged for that crap.
Oh, really?
Now you go to an elementary school, middle school, high school, and they're doing these stupid dances. They look like they're having a seizure. And I'm not trying to make fun of them, but it's like if I had done that in high school, dude, I would have been stuffed in a locker and told how big of a loser I was. So part of that makes me very jealous of this generation. They don't give a shit.
No,
they really don't.
That's
the
great,
stupider
though.
They look, the more comfortable they feel, and I'm jealous of that.
I think it's like when they're sitting there, like you go anywhere, you'll be standing in like a food
Looks
line
like they're
or
just
something.
swatting
They're
a
doing
bee
this.
that's not there.
You're doing, you know what I mean? And it's like, it look like zombies out there.
I mean, it's like they're swatting at a bee that doesn't exist, and you're like, everything okay? Oh yeah, they're dancing. That's not dancing. Imagine explaining to Michael Jackson that's dancing. Imagine going up to Usher and then doing some stupid move, and Usher just being like,
Mike would be like, I don't think that's dancing at all.
First off, shut up. Don't make fun of my boy.
I'm not making fun of him.
That was funny, though.
Michael Jackson was Adam was a big Michael Jackson fan, so I was a big Michael Jackson fan. But
were you Michael or Prince more?
I like Prince. Right. Honestly, if you go onto like my Metallica Pandora station,
you're a big you're a big rock fan.
I like rock. I like every genre. Honestly, I like country. I like rock. I like dubstep. I still like
Really?
Oh yeah, I do like dubstep too. There's certain jobs that I'll be on, and it's like a certain genre that I play. Like if I'm demoing, I'm like Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, tear a hole in the wall. But if I'm like painting, then I get on like my dubstep and just kind of, because it doesn't have words, you don't get distracted, it's just all beats and you just kind of go with the flow. Yeah. But Prince, he's up there. But like I said, my Metallica station has got like everything from like Righteous Brothers, Stand By Me, that song or whatever. And then like you got Prince, and then you'll get Fleetwood Mac will come in there. You know what I mean? So I'm not.
You're a pretty well-versed person though. You also aren't somebody that just like inherently says no to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean,
there are things obviously you would say no to, but it's like you're not a picky eater.
No.
You're not picky with your music. You're not picky with like I mean, I feel like if I just named a random TV show, if it was coming from me, you'd be like, I'll at least give it a shot. I'll try it. You know what I'm saying?
The Pokemon thing. Right.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll download the app and find Pokemon.
No, you won't.
And that's my kids, they're cultured, is what I like to say.
They are.
They eat avocado, you know what I mean? Which like other kids would be like, ew, you know what I mean? But we'll go and have sushi and literally get like 10 rolls for dinner, and that's it. You know what I mean? California roll, they love it. Crunchy shrimp rolls and stuff like that. They're not sheltered. You know what I mean? Honest, open opinion, and that's how my mom especially was with me. You know what I mean? She didn't say, when I was young I couldn't listen to rap music. Obviously it had to be
kosher.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Onyx back in the day, I got caught with a old Onyx tape, and she's like, "What is this garbage?" Ah.
I never ran into that with my parents, like the hiding of the music. I remember that scene in that 70s show where they send Fez home with Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah.
And he's got it hidden in like his Christian music album, and he's listening to like Stairway to Heaven and the not foster parents, but like the he was American or foreign exchange parents.
Yeah.
They like had a conniption fit that he was listening to Led Zeppelin. It's mind-boggling to me because I never ran into that.
I love Led Zeppelin, and my mom was totally cool with that. She'd be like, "Oh, you're listening? Here's some Pink Floyd. Check that out." I'm like, sweet.
But the minute you listen to rap,
it was just like, "Oh, what is this?" I mean, I think my first year that we got CDs, which you know what I mean. Now we're old, or cassettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was Garth Brooks and Boys to Men. It's like that came from Santa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it came from Santa,
right?
Certainly.
Santa. So Santa knew that. You know what I mean? That's what I needed to listen to. So and then after that was like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. So the wide variety, I guess, is just kind of just how I lived life. You know?
Do you think that that's an important feature of living a life? Is being well-rounded, having a lot of exposure to a lot of different things.
Experiences.
Yeah.
Experiences, definitely. You know what I mean? You can be camera shy, you can be, radio shy, you could not want to stand in front of people and talk, you know what I mean? Or, you just want to be in the backdrop. I think that more of that comes from parents making their kids comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you did a great job. You know what I mean? Or, that was absolutely fantastic. But then, if not, then this is something that we need to work on. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you did really good, but next time you color, stay inside the lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you start there, and then you just keep on progressing with, like food and stuff like that. My kids, they used to hate hot sauce, and now they're like, well, try some hot sauce. I'm like, okay. I'm a huge hot sauce fan.
Do y'all watch Hot Ones?
No. I don't even know what it is.
YouTube's Hot Ones? Oh, my God.
Oh, really?
So it's through First We Feast, and it's interviews with like celebrities, but each question they have to eat a hot one, and it gets sequentially hotter.
I have seen that. It's like wings. They're eating wings and stuff. Yes, I have actually seen that. I didn't know what it's called, but yeah.
The kids would probably get a kick out of that because they do. Some people aren't great, a lot of language or whatever for kids, but like Shaquille O'Neal's on there. He's fun. Gordon Ramsay is hilarious on there.
I'm a huge Gordon Ramsay fan.
Yeah, same.
He's just honest, and I'd love to have met him. In my chef days, you know what I mean, of like cooking and stuff like that. Because
I don't know. I think I'd like to meet him now that I'm not in a restaurant. Because I feel like he just butchered the hell out of me being in a restaurant. No, I'm
you bloody blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh
definitely.
yeah. It's raw.
Yeah. What is this? Yeah.
I saw a meme one time. It said, "This squid is so raw, it's telling SpongeBob to fuck off." And I died, man. I thought that was the funniest meme I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. I actually have seen that one. But no, whenever when it comes to hot sauces, and that was something that my mom, would always. You want to try some hot sauce? Yeah, absolutely. And then we just kept on progressively getting hotter. Now, it's so stupid hot, it burns your insides out. You know what I mean? Like, you could eat enough hot Cheetos to make, a toilet melt. You know what I mean? It's possible. My mom gave me a bag of chips that was, they're like Doritos. I don't even know what the name of the chip is.
Isn't it the ghost pepper ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. They got
Packy? P-A-Q-I or something?
Yeah, so I was eating those with like sandwiches and stuff or whatever, and then it's like, I can't taste anything. Heat can be heat, but it can be too much with no flavor.
Yeah, so, I want the flavor.
Yeah.
What's your go-to hot sauce?
Usually, right now, it's Texas Pete Ultra Fire or whatever it is. They have a different Texas Pete hot sauce. It's like a black label. I can't remember. It's like
Cholula's good. I've always liked Cholula.
Tapatio. I do like going with Tapatio.
You say Tapatio or Tapatio?
I say Tapatio, and they know what I'm talking about. So when I say that, I'm like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tapatio.
Yeah, just struggle with it, and they'll be like, oh, that one.
Oh, that one. Yeah, got you. Yeah.
Are you a big Sriracha fan?
I do. It's just overrated at this point.
I think so, too. It kind of became a cult. Like a cult following.
I wish I would have invested in Sriracha. And here's the thing, is like whenever we worked at Longhorn, like you didn't see Sriracha, and then like all of a sudden the next year was like Sriracha's in everything. I mean, Sriracha mayonnaise and Sriracha in this, and then Sriracha in sauces. I was like, man, I wish I would have been able to like take a step back 2 years, invest in Sriracha.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then watch it, because you got to think, however many Longhorns there are is how much Sriracha they're buying. You know what I mean? Think about that market. You know what I mean? So it's like an insider trading kind of thing. You know what I mean? But it never happens. So, but Sriracha, I think, is just paired well with sushi at this point.
I kind of agree. I think it's overdone.
It's not like something I want to put in my chili. It's not something I want to put in a soup. It's not
Chili. I kind of just want to. It should already be made spicy enough.
Yeah. Well, with the kids. See, the cool thing about the chili that I make is Ronan's not a bean fan, so I make it like all protein. So it's all meat. It's hamburger. It's cube steak. It's you know what I mean. And then of course you got to put the vegetables and
Thanks
stuff
for
in it.
bringing some.
Yeah, and this winter I didn't make any. And every winter I usually make at least one big vat of it.
I do one big pot of chili every opening Sunday for NFL football.
Oh, really?
And I eat all of the chili.
Yeah. But then you got to leave a little bit for the next day.
Oh, no. I make it the day before, set it in the fridge so it thickens up.
Nice,
So
yeah.
I consume my chili the very first opening day of NFL football.
And I'm not like a grilled cheese fan, but I think it would be good. And I seen it at Longhorn, buddy of ours, Mark. Remember Mark from the kitchen, back in the kitchen? Anyway, he made a chili grilled cheese sandwich.
Well, why not just take the grilled cheese and dip it in your chili?
Well, he put the chili inside of the grilled cheese.
That sounds like a mess.
Yes, it's like the Texas burger.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a burger you eat with a fork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He cut it up like dainty all.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks all nice and polite, but then it's dripping down your face.
Oddly enough, man, whatever. When I eat my chicken wings, I use a fork. I hold this and I pull my meat off.
Just go ahead and
with
mute
a fork.
That's funny.
But then I pull out my man card and eat blue cheese. So
I've just now started. We were talking about blue cheese not too long ago. I just now started eating blue cheese.
Really?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It depends on where you're getting it too.
Well, it depends. What's those trays called? Charcuteries or whatever. Yeah. So if you get like some ultra like blue cheese,
some stinky cheese,
it make you think twice about it. I do like that, but there's several cheese. I mean, I'm a big cheese fan too.
Yeah.
I could eat cheese all day long. A big block of cheddar. Should have brought one.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Just munching on some cheddar.
Eat some cheddar cheese.
Where are y'all filming it? We're in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
That's right.
Yeah, the dairy capital of the world.
Good Lord.
Yeah, right.
At least that's cool. Like
That's their thing. Is cheese.
Yeah.
What would Bowling Green's thing?
Well,
be?
Corvette.
Well, I know, but
Let's take away the Corvette. What is Bowling Green known for? Because you've been here for a while.
Okay.
What's something that when you think of
restaurants. That's the other thing.
what do you think of when you think, like, if you were going to describe Bowling Green minus WKU, minus the Corvette, and you got some friends coming into town, they're like, I mean, what are we going to do?
Beach band. I mean, seriously, what do we got? You know,
That's another recurring theme on this podcast is we just try and figure out like what's Bowling Green known for? What can we do with Bowling Green? What can we do to make Bowling Green better?
what can we do to make Bowling Green better? Jeez, oh Pete.
Other than expanding Scottsville Road, which they're doing.
Finally.
Thank the Lord.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. What is it going to be like 7 lanes, like
Who knows?
like they have in like Nashville or something or whatever?
Who
It's like,
knows?
are we getting that big? You know, what they need to do is work on the interstate, the Bowling Green humps. You know, when
Yeah.
you're going for
Oh, they're doing that now.
yeah, and you like that's how. And when I got the trailer on the back of the Bummer, it's like, bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
You know, every time I'm afraid I'm just going to like throw everything off the trailer. So
Yeah.
That was the asphalt settled and the drainage pipes popped
Yeah.
up through.
yeah. Yeah. And see, I used to be a land surveyor, and what's funnier about that is like where you find these sinkholes, like that one that was next to Chick-fil-A not too long ago.
Which Chick-fil-A?
On Campbell Lane.
It's like a 5-foot
Yeah.
sinkhole just opened up.
Yeah, just opened up. I mean, like the one on Dishman Lane.
The Corvette plant.
The Corvette plant. That was a big one.
We were texting the day that happened. I think you were the one that told me about the movie Tremors when that happened.
Really.
I'm almost certain.
I went out there the day it happened because my brother was he was a concrete safety engineer, so he had to go out there and survey it
Right.
and measure. And so he got me out there. And I
Have you
got to
been
see
out
it.
there since?
No.
They have the glass where you can look down into the hole.
Oh, get out.
It's neat.
If you look
That's
at that,
creepy.
If you look at that concrete, there's like no steel whatsoever in the concrete.
Oh, really?
And it was just like the flat slab is what they built it on.
But you got to have steel in it. That's what structures.
It's supposed to.
Yeah,
They did?
You're supposed to. 100%. Got to have rebar in
They
it.
had mesh.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's good for like me making like a countertop
Yeah.
out of concrete. You know what I mean? Just some chicken
I
wire
get some tile.
and tile over.
Yeah.
Just put some tile over it.
Yeah.
You'll never see it.
It's
You'll
a
never know.
wonder that it lasted as long as it did, if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Oh, it didn't last very long. As soon as that hole opened, it went.
But the Corvette plant itself, think about how long that did last.
I mean, it was sitting on dirt though. There was no pressure.
But there's certain places, you know what I mean. Even on the farm that I grew up on, you know what I mean. One day there wasn't a hole, the next day there was this monster hole in the field.
Isn't
It's
that
like,
wild?
Like, how is that? You know, I know it's drainage and limestone and stuff like that. I kind of get the basic gist of a sinkhole, but that may be one thing. You know, we got the cave system, but that's not really Bowling Green.
Mammoth Cave, yeah, that'd be a huge like selling factor.
Lost River.
I mean, Mammoth Cave is. I would still consider that part of Bowling
Dude,
Green.
I used to go to Mammoth Cave, and they used to have this thing. It's kind of like spelunking. It's kind of, you go on a trog, is what and they give you like a headlamp and, you know, hard hats
Not
and
too
stuff.
big.
And then, well, as a kid, you know, but
You're a
then
nut.
they would take you through all these like super squez cavern. You know, yes, and I say squez instead of squeeze. It's squez. Drives the kids crazy.
Wait.
Squez.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just something I say. It's
No,
just
we
just
need
my
to figure
thing.
that out. There's some underlying issue as to why you
Squez.
say that.
So anyway, we would squez through all these little caverns and holes, but you would get to see like how like the Native Americans, you know, would carve out, you know, their tunnels and stuff like that. It was, you find arrowheads, they leave everything original that they had in there. So like you're going down like the regular trail, and then they just let you hop the fence and start going through these holes and stuff. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
You know, the more that we were talking about Bowling Green or whatever, I've been sitting here thinking like how you would describe it. It's kind of just an all-American kind of city, town, whatever you want to
but
call
it's
it.
changed a lot though,
It's
man.
changed a ton. Like
since we
you
were
were out
kids.
here, you were waiting here, and you're like, I'm by the boat that used to be the old wishing well.
right, man.
And it's like little
everybody
things like
knows.
that.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, now,
Well, and I would say everybody. The kids are like, "Oh, that's neat."
hey, you know, here's what Bowling Green's known for: a new Dollar General every 36 minutes.
They just start spawning.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
Hey,
like,
speaking of spelunking, though, you know what makes me uncomfortable? This stuff. Have you like
Yeah.
super tight spelunking.
No,
yeah.
dude, you're gonna give me a panic attack on here.
See, yeah, that's too far, man.
That's nuts.
Because I said there was what's that old story a long time ago where the guy went down the and got his foot like stuck on a rock in between a rock. It happened in Kentucky, man. It happened up like a Mammoth Cave area or something.
So there was one where.
Well, just think about the was it Vietnam or Korea where all those kids,
Where
the
rabbit
soccer
holes?
team got stuck?
Oh, yeah,
I watched
yeah,
a
yeah.
documentary on that. It's
I did
pretty
too.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, quick question for the adult present in that situation. What are you doing taking kids that far into a cave
I don't know.
with water? It was
Well,
not smart.
When they went in, it wasn't raining yet, and then the monsoons happened,
Oh,
and it filled up quickly. But
yeah.
this stuff.
That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
and and I do have like a mild claustrophobia, like, you know, problem, but you know what I mean. I guess you just don't think about what's going to happen if you're inside that. You don't think
Shit,
about.
I do.
You don't think about the earthquakes.
I think about
and-
worst case scenario like all the time.
Yeah, that came with the PTSD. Now it's like where's my exits? How am I getting out? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy in a I can't remember where this was, but he basically climbed down a hole and got stuck.
Yeah.
And
This was in Mammoth?
No, this was in like Utah or
I
something.
thought it was a mammoth.
And he got stuck upside down, and they just concreted him in because they couldn't get him out.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
So he's still there?
Yeah.
Well,
his
part of
body's-
him is.
His body's still there. So you
Oh
can
my
see,
gosh.
You can see
Let me
there.
see. Is this what I was talking about? I thought it was in Kentucky.
This is like he got stuck
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
upside
Now see,
down.
okay, so I'm talking about a different story. This guy was going down and a rock wedged his foot.
Oh, kind of like Aaron Ralston with 127 Hours. You remember that?
The movie, what's his name?
Oh no, that
Franco?
was crazy.
He
Where-
got his arm stuck, and the guy
Yeah.
cut his arm
Yeah, he got
off.
cut his
Oh,
arm
dude,
off.
I watched.
Could you do
I
that?
watched that.
Could you do that?
I would say yeah.
I think anybody
think I
could
could.
to survive.
Yeah.
Now that I have a kid,
Yeah.
it's
It
like
changes
I
things.
could do so much if I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, if I was stuck like that, I'd rip my arm off in a heartbeat.
Now that I have a kid, I wouldn't go and do that. now that I have 3 kids, I wouldn't go
Amen
do
to that, bro. I'm the same way.
I had a motorcycle, and I was like,
time to get rid of it.
well, actually, Ron Ann helped with that decision too. But I was like,
I
don't need to ride it no more. You know,
Yeah,
it's like let's go.
things, man.
Oh, we're going skydiving. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not
First
yet.
off, I'm not getting in a plane anyway.
Not yet. But,
Second off, I'm not going skydiving.
Yeah, I don't. One day I will. You know what I mean? That was the adventurous side. I've been bungee jumping and stuff like that, and it was fun. You know what I mean? But I was a kid when I did it. I didn't have like responsibilities and obligations.
And you weren't aware of the dangers.
Yeah. There was no YouTube videos where you can watch everybody's bungee accidents happen.
See, when I was little, we flew to Disney. Well, I mean, we went to Disney a handful of times. I've probably flown 13 times.
Yeah.
But when your parents are telling you it's fine, let's get on this plane, it's like, oh, okay, mom and dad said it's cool.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, like there was a plane crash in Paris Landing, Tennessee the other day.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. And there was a plane crash on Crosswinds Golf Course like a year and a half ago or something. And it's like, now that I'm older and see these things, I'm like, Mom and Dad, you are crazy. You tried to put me up in that little floating, you tried to put me in a flying, floating box.
Yeah, right? It's like our itinerary when we want to travel is like, suitcases check, wheel check, you know?
Yeah.
Everything's good on the checklist. Yeah, we're good to fly.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so I
can't do that.
First time I flew, I was 11.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers, and this was whenever your parents or your company or your people could take you all the way to the gate. So me and my brothers flew to Chicago by ourselves.
Why?
To visit our uncle. He lived in Chicago. So that's the first time I flew was by myself. Well, with my brothers. Like legit. Like
Are
for
you the
real.
youngest?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So I say brothers. My brother's, my biological brother, but then I have a stepbrother through a marriage of my mom's from years ago. We were brothers for like 13 years. I mean, you might know. But anyway, yeah, that was my first experience on a plane.
Oh, that would have been
I was
horrible.
a nervous wreck, man. I was a nervous wreck.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, I was 11, so it's like, okay. My mom was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, she told you it was good.
Buckled me up in the plane, and then she walked off the plane and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, this is different.
Yeah.
But
right.
no, yeah. But see, we got to go to Chicago, and as a kid in Chicago, that's part of your culturalization. You know what I mean? You got to travel, you got to move. I think the next destination that I really want to go to is St. Louis.
You've never been?
Mm-mm.
St. Louis is fun. We got lost in the ghetto. Harrison and I talked about that. His mom made a wrong turn. Man, we ended up in the ghetto. It was bad.
In Chicago, we went to Cabrini Greens. That was, you know what Cabrini Greens is?
No.
Oh man, that used to be like, that was the ghetto. That
For real?
was like the ghetto.
How'd you end up there?
Life experience. Check it out. You know what I mean? It was one of the, and then
You just wanted to do it?
I didn't want to. No, we was kids and we were like touring and looking at Chicago and stuff like that. I mean, it's no longer there. They literally demolished those buildings. But it was one of those. I mean, even when we would travel to Mexico, we'd go off the the tourist Americanized areas, and then go and actually see real life. Man, that we went one time, and we got to see like the outskirts. And we went to had food truck, like actual taco food truck, legit.
Yeah, just so you guys know, in Mexico, tacos are not what you think a taco is.
No.
It's not hard shell.
Yeah.
And it's not got a bunch of lettuce, tomato, and sour cream on it.
It's got like aloe vera on it. You know what I mean? It's so gross. It is
Some
so
cactus.
gross. Oh, yeah, some cactus. Yeah. That cactus. And it's
good,
like,
man.
first time I got cactus, I was like, oh.
And you're probably not getting ground beef. You're probably either going to get like a chorizo, you're going to get some steak, maybe chicken. You're lucky if you
You
get
don't
chicken.
really ask. What is
First
that?
off, you don't. Yeah,
What is that?
Let me get a taco.
Yeah, it's
because
like,
they know what taco means.
Could be lizard. Man, there's iguanas everywhere. You never know.
Hey, what did I just have? Oh, that was monkey. What?
Say that again. I don't think I understood you. But anyway, when I come,
It's chupacabra. Devil dog.
When I came back from that trip, I literally got a second job because I could. You see the life and
What
how they
other people are
live
doing.
and how much they can make in a day, and I'm like, I'm really wasting ability, time, you know what I mean? It's just something I wanted to do. It's like I guess like opportunity. That's the word I'm looking for. You
I
have
had
the opportunity.
Someone
to
take it.
So yeah, exactly. So that's when actually the first kitchens, working 2 different kitchens started.
Huh.
It's crazy. Yeah, you gotta travel. You gotta travel.
Yeah, I want to go to Savannah.
Georgia?
Yeah,
Been there.
I've never
It's cool.
been, but I've heard it's just beautiful.
It is. It definitely is. It's old school. It's artsy. It's a lot of architecture. You know what I mean?
New Orleans.
Creative.
New Orleans pretty.
Haven't been to New Orleans. If you do go to Savannah, you got to go to Tybee Island.
Tybee. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
I've been required.
Yes, it is definitely a low-key beach feel. Man, the best food I've had come out of this little dive hole, whatever. I can't even remember the name of it, but man, it was incredible. Like, it's like,
I love
that's
places like
why. And oysters on the coast. I only eat oysters at the coast, you know what I mean? Just
If you're traveling, you better not go to chain restaurants.
Right?
That's like a rule, man.
Like going
I
to,
have been to a crappy bar in every single city that you guys have mentioned.
Which one would be your favorite crappy bar that you've ever been in?
Crappy bar?
Yeah. And we're not saying crappy as in like it's nasty and dumb.
No,
It's like,
right.
Crappy as in like when you think of Buffalo Wild Wings
So-
as a bar, but it's like what would be your favorite like a dive bar? I guess you would say.
Some historic,
Yeah, dive
some
bar.
historic bars that we did shows in. Joe's on Weed Street in Chicago is
Okay.
like historic.
okay.
Everybody that's been somebody has played at Joe's on Weed Street.
That's neat.
So that one, Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, Texas,
Okay. I've never been to Texas.
is
Is that Billy Bob Thornton's?
no. It's a big line dance hall,
Oh, really?
Oh, that's neat.
and
Huh.
everybody that's been somebody's played that one.
I'd tear that place up.
Really?
But probably the best venue that performing in with like the best energy is the Georgia State Theater in Athens,
State.
Georgia.
Oh, yeah?
It's like 1,000-person place, old, busted up,
Oh, yeah.
but the energy in that room is nuts. I want to build a venue here eventually.
Oh, yeah?
Bowling Green
That'd be
that
cool.
matches the energy of that.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be
what's the
fun.
place in Nashville? The Ryman? It's something like that? I've never been inside the Ryman, but...
It's not like the Ryman. This used to be
Rocket Town, probably closer to something like a Rocket
No,
Town.
it's like the Capitol. Imagine the Capitol, but they took all the seats out of the bottom, so it's a pit,
Okay.
and there's a balcony,
Okay.
and there's a big stage, and people go nuts. It's
Dude,
That sounds cool, man. Venue spots, I think that, we've done concert, I think the Hot Rod Stadium had some concerts.
we used to have concerts on the square.
Florida
Concerts in the
Georgia
park.
line. Yeah, oh yeah. I
Those
they,
were so
I
fun.
guess they X that out, huh? For
I think
now.
once
'cause
they
of
built
COVID.
Circus Square too, they started moving them down there because it's a little more
But
open.
COVID has completely changed everything.
Everything.
Everything. Like anything and everything that we know is literally. I mean, I've had to do jobs where I had to wear the mask the whole time while I'm working, doing remodels.
And was it an occupied home or like an empty? Like
Oh, it's occupied. Those are.
it's hard to
more-
argue with those people because you got to respect what their
Right.
wishes are.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, well, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
You also have the right as an independent contractor to be like, now just pass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, true. I usually try not to pass up on an opportunity if I can't. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if I'm booked or if I'm way too far out, I'm like, look, once I get closer to where I can get to you, before I came in, I had an opportunity handed to me about painting the interior of a whole house, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, but I'm really trying to do summer projects right now. I was like, I can put you in the books, and he's
Yeah.
like, all right, well, just put me at the front of that list whenever you get ready. Let's figure something out in the cooler months. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
absolutely, sounds good.
That's perfect.
So there is a list. There's a growing list of like, you come install a ceiling fan. You come install light fixtures. Can you just throw some floors down?
Do you like doing this?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Do you love it?
Yeah. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. Painting is a labor of love. Tile work is a labor of love. 100%. And then anything and everything else is like, making something ugly and then revamping it, making it pretty again.
That outdoor bar you did,
Oh,
the
that
tiki
was
bar,
fun. Oh my gosh.
that is one of my favorite projects that you've done. It looks so fun.
I think, man, that one's up there for sure. That just started with an idea. My client was just wanting to tear down and start over. I was like, whoa. I was like, let's start peeling some of these walls back and see what kind of bones we got on the inside, as far as like structural stability and stuff like that. And started shooting ideas out and draw. Like, I'm like the guy from the Treehouse Masters. I'll kind of draw a sketch out. Like, well, this is what I'm. So I showed the sketch, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I like that." I'm like, "All right, sweet." I started
Let's
tearing
run
walls-
with it, yeah.
So we started tearing walls down, tearing ceilings out, and it was like a low like a low truss ceiling or whatever. We took all the trusses out and made it a vaulted ceiling. I mean, it was
very pretty.
That bar, the concrete
so
bar, is
nice.
like 10 feet by like 3 feet. That was all poured by us.
Do you, having gone from, because we talk about this all the time in our house, having gone from working those hourly, and I hate to use the term slave labor, but you're literally just getting the whip cracked at you because your boss is,
Right.
they've got numbers to meet, especially at somewhere like as corporate as a Longhorn. You've got to meet those labor laws and all that nonsense that no customers understand.
Right.
If your restaurant is short staffed, I promise you, it's probably not the restaurant's fault.
Yeah.
It's probably the corporate laws.
Right. I mean,
So what
because
do
they
you-
run bare minimum skeleton crews. That's what they try and do.
Because they
Labor
got to make
versus-
more money in their
right.
pocket. Why do you think your servers are only making $2.15? Why do you think you have to tip to make their money? Because they
Because they're not
can.
going to pay that way.
Yeah, they're not going to
They're
pay
not going
it.
to pay them like a big hourly rate, knowing, you know what I mean, how much money they can make.
Now, somebody
versus-
like me, I make great money in tips.
That's because you got a great personality.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
But
that's
do you
what
think-
serving definitely takes a great personality? Bartending takes a
Yeah.
great personality. Anything public related, if you are relying on somebody else making your money or giving you your money or whatever, paying your bills, you know what I mean? You got to be.
You better have a good personality.
Put that face on, man. No matter whatever happened today, when you walk in, you better put that face on. And
I
be
always
smiling.
just tried to treat everybody the same way too,
Right.
and I always wanted every person that came in there to feel special in some way, shape, or form.
But then you got the regulars that come in and you just know. Do-do-do-do-do. I've
Yeah.
already got your drinks ordered. Do-do-do-do-do. You still want the same app?
Yeah.
Do-do-do. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you just take care of them. They're like,
And they think that's just genius because you can remember, but it doesn't take that much to remember. But do you think going from the hourly job to the independent contractor job, do you think that's easy? Or do you think going from an independent contractor to an hourly job would be easier? Which do you think would be the easier transition?
so the theory behind that, if you ask me, is if going from the hourly to the independent contractor, you're leaving guaranteed money. And not being like a server, but you're going to work 40 hours or 50 hours this week.
Yeah, let's take serving out of the
Yeah.
equation.
So-
Let's say a
and-
40-hour work week with, a couple benefits.
Right, like the factory work, like in the industry.
Sure,
Okay?
let's take that.
So in the industry like that, you've got people that have been there for 30 years and they've got trucks and fishing boats and houses and stuff like that. But
They're
that's
comfy.
Yes, exactly. It's a comfort level of just that guaranteed money. It's a guarantee that they're going to be able to get paid this, and they're going to get this much vacation time, and then they're going to get an X amount bonus, and then you know what I mean? They live life based off their paycheck.
Yes.
So for an independent contractor, I make what I want to work. You know what I mean? Like if I've got tons of projects and I want to get them in, then that's how much money I make. It's not
Exactly.
so the stress level is amplified leaving the factory to going to independent contracting because everything rides on me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or on production or finishing or remodeling, stuff like that. The problem with me is I just like to be super meticulous, so it takes me a little bit longer
Yeah.
than anybody else possibly would, because I like all my everythings and straights and horizontals and like my lines to be straight lines and stuff. And we're not in and out. We're not an in and out independent contracting company.
Yeah.
We definitely explain and take the time. Try to come up with best options, affordable options. We try and work with the clients and be as transparent as possible instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm going to come in, I'm going to put tile down, and we're going to be done and walk out and peace out. You'll never see me
Paycheck
again."
and I'm done.
Right.
Lose my phone number.
Right. Yeah. Right.
For real.
So in some instances it is like that, but whenever you're trying to grow and be that, you know what I mean, you definitely keep that stress level of where's my next job, so that's all you know what I mean. If I'm on a job, I'm like, where am I going next? And then if I'm going there, where am I going after that? So if you go from being the independent contractor, it's going to take that worry about where you're going next, because
But then you're also answering to
which was tough, man.
Daddy.
Yeah, because whenever I was in the industry, the factory industries and stuff like that, I started off on the second shift, and then I went to third shift, so it's not regular hours, you know what I mean? And then I finally made first shift after like 3 years of like missing out on tons of stuff, you know what I mean?
Softball games for the kids, baseball games, all that.
Dinner,
And just growing.
afternoons, dinner in general, and afternoons and hanging out and talking to the kids after school and stuff like that. That was the biggest. Like second shift is like 11 to 11 where I worked, and then your third shift is like 11 to 7 if I'm not mistaken, and then day shift is like 7 to 3:30. So 2 shifts, you know, if you're on second shift, you miss out a lot. Everything afternoon. If you're on third shift, you're trying to sleep at some point throughout the day so you can go in at 11. And if you're on first shift, you know, that's the golden shift. Don't get me wrong. But then you still have to answer to way more chiefs. You know what I mean? Like engineers and all that stuff. So there's, if you ask me, there's not one shift that's, you know, the best.
I think it's interesting because everybody in this room right now has had the hourly job and the hourly experience, and then we made the move to the independent contract work, being our own boss.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody.
No.
You know what I mean? Not everybody can stay motivated. Not everybody can stay on their stuff. But when you make it work, it really is. When people say the American dream, it is, because
It is.
there's nobody telling you cannot do something.
Right.
I'm kind of the person where it's like, I dare you to tell me I can't.
Yeah, right.
You know what
It's
I
like,
mean?
well, you can't do. Are you sure?
Yeah. Have you seen me not?
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever done something? No, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll damn sure try it.
It's just not being scared to try something. It's like going into realty. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, is that something that you really wanted to do? Is that something that you aspired to?
I knew that because I didn't finish school, that I needed something that was going to require minimal education. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to educate yourself once you're in it. But I did not have a formal collegiate education, had some hours or whatever.
Right.
And I knew that I wanted to be present for baseball games, softball games, dance recitals, practices, all that stuff. And I cannot continue to serve because I made a lot of my money on Friday nights and Saturdays all day long.
Right.
And Sundays and stuff like that.
But those are the days. That's the problem.
You have to do it.
Like my days off in the restaurant would be like Monday and Tuesday because they're slow days, and then I'd be there all week.
Yeah.
You know, for the rest of the week. So that also frees it up. You know what I mean? But now, you know, you have Charlotte. You've got to, you're in like such the perfect spot to get yourself comfortable.
Exactly where I want to be.
Where you want to be when she's getting of those ages and wanting to do all those other things.
That's another thing, is being where you want to be and not being where you're required to be.
Oh yeah.
There's a big difference when somebody says, "Well, you got to shift from 9 to 5."
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, now it's
no lunch. You know.
Now it's like, well, I got my shift when I want to work my shift.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What time are you going to show up? I don't know. You know, between 8 and 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Between 7 and 8, I'll be here, guaranteed.
But it's such an amazing thing that we're at that point in our lives now, because we came from. I'm not going to say that it was the worst experience ever working in a restaurant. I'd be dumb to think that. I'm glad that I did it. I think that every person needs to have an idea. Maybe not every person needs to work in the restaurant industry, but everybody needs to work in some form of service.
I think they do. 100%.
Would you let your kids?
Well, yeah, because they need to learn respect. They need to learn, you know what I mean? I know that my kids will definitely, you know, when they ask for something at a restaurant, I don't like it when they say, I want to have. You know what I mean? When I pull up at fast food or something for them, and like, I don't say, I want to have this, I want to have that. I like for them to say, I'd like to have. Because
May I have?
Yes,
can I have?
Yes, exactly. It's more of like a respect thing. It's like, they're people too. You don't need to be demanding, I want another Coke. You know what I mean? Or I want Coke, or I want a steak, or blah, you know, it's like, I'd like to have, you know, it just, that's something that you have to learn.
It's just little nuanced things that you learned being in the restaurant industry.
Yeah. It's like, well, how long on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ordered a 13-ounce ribeye, well done. Why is it not here yet? Sir, it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
What do you want me to do here?
And you got it well, so you're lucky I'm letting you eat it.
How do you eat your steak?
Medium.
Medium? Not medium rare?
Nah, I can. I'm not picky, but if it goes over medium, I'm sitting back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't go medium.
Are you an A1 person on your steak?
No.
Good boy.
No. Salt and pepper.
I've got a buddy that puts
pepper.
ketchup on his steak.
Oh, man. I got a buddy that puts ketchup on his potato.
Like a baked potato? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, think about it. French fry, ketchup.
It's different.
I mean, it is, but
it's totally different.
Have you ever had A1 on a baked potato? Oh, dude.
I'm not going to say I haven't, because I'm sure I have at some point.
A1 on some mashed potatoes?
All right, so here you go. I'm about to Sloppy Joe on a potato. I call them Sloppy Joe potatoes. Oh.
How original, Bunger.
Yeah, right?
Hey, have you had Sloppy Joe on a potato? I like to call it Sloppy Joe potatoes.
With cheese.
Call it a sloppy tater.
Sloppy tater. Dude, I'm telling you.
Taters.
If you're having Sloppy Joes for dinner, I don't know if you like Sloppy Joes. I love Sloppy Joes.
Hey, dude, and 30 and likes to eat cheap.
Yeah.
And the people that don't put cheese on a Sloppy Joe are silly. You got to put a little cheese on it. You said you put it on a potato?
On a potato?
Well, it's the same thing.
Not on a sandwich. Sandwich has to come with pickles and hot sauce.
I'm with you with the pickles.
Okay. There used to be a place in
Russellville?
The Bethel Dipper.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm talking about?
I
Next to the
think-
Piggly Wiggly that had like the mustard sloppy joes.
Yes, I remember we used to go. What was the big water park outside of Russellville?
I didn't know Russellville had a water park.
No, it's outside. Dogwood Lake.
Oh, Dogwood Lake,
Dogwood
dude,
Lake.
yeah.
You could get sloppy joes and hit the road.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I
bro.
remember Dogwood Lake. Oh gosh.
Yeah, there's a pair of my
Dog-
sunglasses somewhere at Dogwood
Oh,
Lake.
there's a lot of
Probably a pair of underwear too.
and a lot of pee. I remember company picnics would be out there. You know what I mean, with my dad and where he worked or whatever.
That place was fun, dude.
Yeah, I'd say that. Is it still open?
I doubt it.
Boo. Google Dogwood Lake. See if it's still a thing. Because they had like,
I highly doubt it.
dude, Dogwood Lake was like the place. And I remember like whenever Adam was driving, we would go for like a birthday party.
Here it is in Dunmore,
It says permanent.
permanently closed.
Yeah, permanent.
Dude, there's their water slide.
Kids kids needed to experience that. That's the first time I ever went off a high dive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the
It reminded me of like the water parks or like the things you see in like the 70s and 80s movies, like the summers.
oh yeah,
Like,
like scary summer movies.
Action Park. Have you heard of that?
Oh my God, yes.
Didn't they get shut down?
Oh hell
Like,
yeah.
people
Because of-
died.
Oh
Yeah.
dude.
But didn't they serve like alcohol and stuff like that too?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
that,
yeah, that
is that
place
that
was
Without
location?
limit and
People
all the
died?
rides the guy just made up himself.
Yeah.
People died?
Oh
I
yeah.
thought they shut down because it was like a big noise complaint ordinance around all the houses and surrounding.
It's a little bit of everything.
Oh really?
Yeah, they had a couple people drown like,
Oh.
in their wave pool. And
Oh
other stuff.
no!
Yeah.
Oh gosh! Yeah, so I guess they're permanently
Yeah,
closed
that
too.
that dude just like built Legos for a living. Is like, I'm gonna build a theme park too.
Hey, we
There's
could
a
talk.
Johnny Knoxville movie that came out that's kind of like a mockumentary of it.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at that.
It was.
We could talk about Legos for days.
Oh
I
man.
love Legos.
Do you still build them with the kids?
I do.
Or are you like, these are mine?
No. These are mine.
Yeah. Yeah. You get them like the bright color ones,
Yeah.
and you get like the Star Wars
Well,
ones.
see, like when me and Brody build, like we'll get the little, packages or whatever. I'll be like, I'm looking for a 2 green. You know what I mean? And he knows that's a 1-2 green or whatever. So it's like I'm looking for an 8 block. And he's like 1, 2, 8 block. You know what I mean?
That's a
So-
good way of teaching kids too.
Well, yeah. Ron had-
Numbers aren't fun.
Yeah. no.
Math is not fun.
Yeah.
So to make it interesting and fun, like through Legos or something.
Wasn't very much. You asked me if I read. I fall asleep when I read. Math comes with doing, your carpentry and measuring and,
It's
but
a different way of doing math,
It's
though.
fractions. You know what I mean? Best way you can teach a kid is by pulling out a measuring tape that has all the fractions on it. That way it helps him understand, these fractions. But
That is smart.
yeah. And then, when it comes to like science, I'm a huge science fan.
Yeah.
Social studies,
I'm a huge science fan, but my brain doesn't comprehend science and math because I was much more like the English, the literature, the music.
Right.
That's just how
more
my
of your
brain is
acting.
wired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could memorize a 10-minute monologue in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But there's some people that can do math, just look at an equation and do it. And you tell me to do a long division problem right now. I'm telling you, I would have trouble.
I would have to
trouble
go
doing it.
back in the books. You know what I mean?
I just pull my phone out. You remember when teachers like, you'll never have a calculator on you at all times?
Right,
Like,
right.
Liars. Liars.
You can't carry that TI-83 everywhere you go.
No, I'll just carry
Remember
my cell
That was
phone.
the one that you could play Snake on or
Oh,
something.
dude.
Whatever.
I had Legend of Zelda on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to get Brody into Zelda. And he's like, yeah, Dad, I want to get a new game. I'm like, you can get a new game as long as it's Zelda. But I don't want
Do y'all have a
Zelda.
Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, Breath of the Wild's so good. Link's Awakening might be a good
know.
game for him.
Well, if you
I
got
didn't know
him-
you were a Zelda fan.
I've always been a Zelda fan.
Yeah, buddy.
That comes from Adam. Adam was a big Zelda. And then my mom actually would play the Nintendo, the old school.
Yeah.
Put the cartridge in, blow the
Duck
cartridge
Hunt.
off. Yeah, oh yeah, And I still remember those days, watching them, dun 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 dun.
Yeah. So, as a parent, he's like, oh, I want to play video games or whatever. Are you one of those people that's like, he can play whatever video game he wants? Like,
No, Grand Theft Auto is
See, my dad did that. And
Out.
a lot of people, especially in today's climate, would be like, well, your dad shouldn't have censored what it was that you were playing or whatever. And I'm like,
right.
hey, first off, I was 10 years old. I didn't have any business killing people and paying hookers on Grand Theft Auto.
Mario's eating mushroom. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jumping on a head of a Goomba.
Getting bigger and shooting fireballs. you
Yeah.
know? But then we also had like Contra and stuff like that. So it's still shoot 'em up kind of games. But like, Bradley, she didn't really get into the games. Braylon kind of somewhat, they'll play them. You know what I mean? They'll do I think the Lego games are like the most fun right now for them.
Oh,
but
for sure.
Me and Brody got, we're playing Grand Theft Auto, and it's
just not good.
It's not good for, you know what I mean? He's like, well, Dad, when can I play? I'm like, well, I guess whenever you turn 13.
Yeah. When you're old enough to buy your own.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to video games, there's so many different video games that he could play other than that. Basically, is, I guess, the best way I can put it.
Zelda.
But like Call of Duty, I still think that's just a stretch. You know what I mean? I think that's just, and these days and
it's almost too
guns
realistic too.
And shootings and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think in his mind he would understand. I mean, he does understand that you don't spawn back if there's an accident like that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's terrible that we have to teach our kids that anyways. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. Growing up, I never thought about that.
No,
dude.
But we did a lot of sports games too, basketball and stuff like that. I just don't have the time for it no more. I used to golf, dude. I used to golf like every weekend, and that's how I know about Bethel Dipper is because we go up to Rolling Hills and play that golf course. Me and my dad would play like random golf courses every weekend. Yeah. And every time we was in Russellville, that was our thing.
I sucked at golf I sucked too bad to keep playing because it was just a waste of money.
You been in Top Golf yet?
No.
Dude.
Is it fun?
It's fun.
My problem is I just can't pay money to not be good at something.
Well, the thing is, you can pay by hour, but it's infinite balls. So like on a regular driving range, you have to like buy buckets of balls, and that's all you get. So you're like getting down to the last few, and you're really trying to focus. You know what I mean? It's like you just swipe the club over this little infrared thing, and a ball comes out. Do it, and you do it again.
That's genius.
Dude, it's just infinite.
See, that's another thing. Like, it seems so original, but it's just a driving range.
Right.
Back to it. I mean,
original ideas revamped, you know? So, Top Golf was definitely an experience. I would definitely go back. Yeah. It's like restaurants, though. I'm a restaurant snob. If you don't impress me or if you don't woo me or wow me or actually have good service, I'm not coming back.
What's one of your favorites?
Favorite restaurant?
Yeah, that's somewhere that you're going to go. You're going to get good service. You're going to get good food. Good price, and when you leave, you're gonna be like, "Man, I'm glad I made that decision."
Man, we're alumni.
Longhorn.
Yeah.
Yuki's good.
Yeah, I can go to Yuki. I know I'm gonna get good food there. Good sushi, at least. Yeah. I always love their sushi. It's just and I mean, there's a lot of good restaurants, but then there's some that are just like, man, we had one. We went up to the lake this weekend, and I'm not gonna tell you which lake it is. This past weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and we ate at this restaurant. And literally, they had to have one cook back there. We ordered our food, sat there 30 minutes. I said something, fine, because I got tired of waiting. Kids are getting antsy. You cannot, and you'll grow to learn that for sure. But like, they're starting to get antsy. They're wanting to get up and walk around and do this and bebop. And I'm like, can we just get our food and we just order breakfast? You know what I mean? Like simple biscuit and gravy, eggs, bacon, toast.
I can make it.
They were cooking it right. Yeah. They're like, Dad, you need to go back there and make it. I'm like, I know, right? I've already had it done. We could have ate and been done. Yeah. But they were making like one table at a time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was just like, I won't come back.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something super controversial on here. We always talk controversially about food. If somebody says their favorite restaurant is Olive Garden, I got no time for you.
I know how their food's prepared.
Number one, I just got no time for you. I'm serious.
I've got nothing.
It's don't get me wrong. It's good. It's good for $6 pasta. It's good.
The best thing I got's the infinite salad. I'm a salad fan, so I like to have pepperoncinis and black olives in my salads and stuff like that. But their pasta, I know how they're. It's a Darden corporation. Yeah. So I know how their food comes in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not somebody back there making.
It's not fresh. Let me let you in on a little secret about this food.
Yeah. Right.
It's not as fresh as you think.
Yeah. The raviolis probably coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not
Gordon Ramsay would have a fit.
Oh, yeah. What is this? A bag of Alfredo powder.
Yeah, he'd be hot about that.
Just add milk,
Oh, man. He's probably never eaten at an Olive Garden in his life.
He has no reason to. He can make scratch pie. He can make everything.
Yeah.
Or he has a new TV show. You ever seen it? Have you seen
the National Geographic one?
Yeah, where he travels and eats.
He was in Gatlinburg. He was in the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, really?
For one of these episodes for the new season.
I do like Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
I like to go there. I've gone in there in winter. I've skied there. We've done Christmases
I've
there.
never skied.
You've never skied?
Never. I have great balance, but I have terrible knees and ankles.
Well,
probably be a nightmare. Well, we saw it. We went up to Ober Gatlinburg where they do it.
Yeah.
And we saw it, and I was like, I'd tube.
Yeah,
I'd
right?
go tube. It
down.
looks fun as could be, man, but I just don't know that if it's for me.
So when we started skiing, like Adam and his buddy got like rollerblade skis. So it was like a boot that you put on with like these little mini skis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like rollerblading down the slopes. And then they come out with like the half skis. And I try, I dabbled in snowboarding, but I used to skate too. So skateboard and rollerblade too. So
Tony Hawk over here.
yeah, right. Far from it. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I would have pursued it, but I was scared to get hurt. So
Yeah.
I get an owie.
Yeah. Imagine being one of those guys like Bam Margera or like Tony Hawk or one of these guys, and it's like pain does not even bother them. They're like, yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go up in the air. I'm gonna flip 4.5 times,
Right.
spin a little, and then I might land on my board again.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, and you're just like,
Then I'm gonna keep on trying it, and then try it again, and try it again, and try it again, and then finally I'll land it, and that'll be the
great
clip.
respect for that kind of stuff.
Dude, I mean, how many times have people, how many times have they broke their wrist or knocked their teeth out, or what I mean, or landed on your arm and your elbow bends backwards?
Could you imagine if
or something?
LeBron James was skateboarding and fell off? He'd be down for a year.
Oh gosh.
He had to be carted off.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
I hate LeBron James.
Yeah.
I hate him so much.
Yeah.
But, so what do you got coming up? Do you have any new projects? You got anything that you can kind of allude to? Any new things that you're going to start doing for clients? Like,
the coolest thing that I did was the bathroom that we just finished, and it was a mashup of shiplap and tile, and I was like, I couldn't wait to do it. When the idea was presented, their vision was presented to me as to what they'd like to see. I was like, yeah, shiplap to tile. I love that. It's not something that we've done. We've done those stand-up showers. We've done. Full on everything, floors, vanities, all that other stuff or whatever, which, like I said, man, right now product is so hard, materials are so hard to come by. And that's what changes a lot, because you're working day and night just to find materials.
Right.
And then if you can't find the materials, then it's like, okay, now we're dead in the water.
I'm SOL.
Right. So if you can't get it, or, I usually like to order a week or two ahead, just to make sure that I've got my stock of everything. In fact, when I leave here, I'm going to buy product.
Are you going to Todd?
No, I'm gonna go. I got a simple, I say simple job. It's new toilets, new floors, yada 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 coming up. But I'm trying to veer into the summer stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into, like I said, the chimneys and decks. People want decks still, and I'm like, it's not a good time for that. You know what I mean? Your $1,000 in materials last year is nowhere near. I mean, you're talking about a quarter of the materials. From last year to now, and my labor estimates don't change. You know what I mean? But my materials estimates are thousands over.
I can still do the work for you the same way I could last year. But it's going to cost me more to do it, so I have to make up that difference.
Right. Yeah. And then the guarantee of having it. I mean, at one point last year during COVID, it was like everybody was home and everybody was building and everybody was wanting to do, and everybody wanted a fence, or they wanted to add on to their deck, or I couldn't find pressure treated lumber nowhere.
Really?
Like, it was impossible. And as soon as, so I got a really good connection at Home Depot. That's my place of choice. Home Depot, shout out to.
Not a sponsor.
Here, no, not a sponsor. But I've got a good connection there. He's a nice guy or whatever, lumber guy. And I was like, hey man, I need to get some deck boards. I need 10-foot deck boards or whatever, pressure treated. He's like, oh, buddy, good luck. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I've called everybody in Bowling Green and nobody has. He's like, yeah, we don't have them.
Yeah,
and
we're
I was
also
like,
out.
well, I was like, when are you going to get any more in? He's like, when I pull it up on my computer system, it just says NA. It shows up whenever it shows up. And he said, you better be here when it shows up, because they bust the pallets and it's like Black Friday, man.
Black Friday.
Yeah, they just start hoarding the lumber. You know what I mean? You can pre-order all you want, but if it ain't there, you still can't get it.
So if you could tell your clients anything, kind of piggybacking off what Todd said, what would you tell to people that are, wanting to do some home improvements, looking to maybe hire somebody like you, or maybe another contractor, like just kind of roundabout, speak for everybody right now. What is something that clients can do that you can say to ease kind of their uncertainty of what's happening?
What, like cost, or like
if you said, just bear with us, just understand that things are changing. It's a learning curve for all of us.
Right. It is. It's 100%. Well, there's certain trades that you can do that or you know what I mean. Like if you're a painter, you're going to get paint.
Right.
But at one point, rollers were hard to get. You know what I mean? Because they come from China, and you know what I mean. It was a tough time to get rollers. So luckily, I had them. But then if you're also a tile guy, you can get tile. There's really no shortage of those kind of separate materials. But whenever you're doing like full gut remodels, you're looking for drywall, lumber, even faucets, vanities, bathtubs. The list goes on. Even shower faucets and all that stuff. So.
Any kind of metal, lumber, or fiberglass right now is just
and then drywall's next. I think drywall's next to go up.
And
Drywall
copper.
mud. Oh yeah, copper prices right now are insane. Actually, on recycle, like recycling copper,
they're low.
they're high.
Oh yeah, because the inventory's low.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the lumber issue. I think that the price of lumber is so high because they're trying to regulate the actual stock that they have.
I'm scared to death that what's going to happen is that we've created this norm of this high lumber price. Why in the world would they ever lower it now?
It's just like you in real estate, though. You know what I mean? If you build a house and you sell it for $200,000,
sure.
In 10 years, that house is still going to be worth $200,000. If you ask me,
If not more, it'll appreciate.
It'll appreciate, yeah. But how much more compared to when we built houses 10 years ago for like $100,000? You know what I mean? Your lumber packages now on houses are, they're
astronomical.
Yeah, that was actually the word I was going to use. What do you think? Are we brothers?
Do we just become best friends?
Yeah. I'm going to do some karate and stuff. But yeah, that's my biggest concern. And of course, we're putting houses up so fast. They're falling in the ground so fast right now in Warren County. The big hot spots is South Warren area and stuff like that. I think in Alberton, yeah. But I think in any kind of location, I don't think it's going to get any lower. That's my thing.
That's my concern.
I don't think they're going to drop out.
I don't think they can afford to go lower because people have already shown that they're willing to pay what they're going to pay.
I never thought about that.
It's like if you go to a restaurant and they up their outlaw from $20 to $25, and people are going to complain, but you still sell the same amount of steaks. Why would you ever lower that price ever again? You've set the new standard of we can sell it for $25.
Right, and it's like gas too.
That crap better come down,
dude. $1.50 whenever COVID was like
in the heat of it.
You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, dude, I can get out. I filled up my jugs. I'm like, I'm gonna mow, or you know what I mean? I'm gonna.
Yeah, people are just mowing for the hell of it.
Hey
man,
bored.
You just mowed yesterday. Well,
did you not see that dandelion come up?
Yes, $1.50 right now.
It was. I mean, literally $1.50, and now we're at like $2.75. In fact, while we were at the lake, it was $3.99. On the water, of course.
Well, it's always more expensive on the water.
Well, still. But anyway, if I had to tell my clients anything, it's hire a contractor that's going to be transparent. If I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If there's a problem, understand that my reputation will show that something's come up and it's legitimate. I'm not going to show up. You know what I mean? Or if I'm going to a house to do an estimate. You know what I mean? If you're not going to, and I should tell all the contractors, if you're not going to be able to make it or you're not going to be able to go, call your clients, call your future clients and let them know. You know what I mean? If hey, I'll try and get to you next week and do that bathroom estimate. It's that I leave like that open, hey, I'll try to. You know what I mean? But if that try to turns into not going to happen, I'm still going to call them and say, hey, look, things have come up. Production was slow this week. I'm trying to catch up. I want to keep you definitely in the books. Is that okay with you? But be transparent. Don't just let it fall to the wayside and then 2 months down the road or a month down the road call and be like, hey, remember that bathroom remodel?
Yeah.
Are you still wanting to do that? So
because they've moved on.
Yeah. Whenever I commit to something, and that's what I think all contractors should do, is if you're gonna say you're gonna show up, show up.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing. We was doing a project in Briarwood, and the lady out across the road actually come out and said, you know what, I can tell you guys this for sure, you will show up. You have been here every day of all the weeks that you've worked.
That's awesome.
And she was like, and if I need something, I'd like to have your card because I know you're going to show up.
Well, let's spill right into it. How can people contact you if they are looking for any kind of, even if it's not a gig, but just for information? How can people contact you?
Just call me. I mean, that's my only outlet right now. I do have a website being built, but it's just
You do Facebook?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have a private page for like a business page?
No, it's just my personal page.
Just Brad Bunger on Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you want to put your phone number out there in the YouTube world and sphere and all that?
Well, it's on my Facebook, so.
Oh, go ahead. Tell people how to contact you.
Which camera do I look into?
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. You can contact me at 270-799-2470. We do just about everything. We don't have any kind of limitations other than what my license and insurance will definitely let me do. Limited plumbing. Any contractor has limited plumbing, and then limited electric. But painting, tile, remodels, cabanas.
Yeah.
The cabana was so much fun.
Guys, if you're looking to do some kind of outdoor equipment right now, this is your man. He's wanting to get into do summer jobs right now.
Yeah.
His work is phenomenal. I will vouch for him. He's a friend of my family.
100%, man. Appreciate
I
that.
I don't doubt this guy at all.
It was so much fun. That project, it took a long time, but man, it was.
It's worth it, wasn't it?
We just redid a lot
That's awesome.
in that one space, and I want to do it again. But like I said, chimneys, man, I'm really wanting to get into that chimney thing. If you got a leaky chimney, 270-799-2470.
I think one last shout out for the kids.
Yep.
They really wanted to see it.
Brody, Braylon, Daddy loves you. I don't know which camera to look into, but
matter.
hey, Dad's on YouTube. Whoop, whoop.
That's right. You kids love YouTube, so we're
Rod
gonna put that
in, I
on
love you too. Let me throw that one in there, but
You better make that one on there too.
I know my kids will be watching this as soon as I know that they can watch it. You know,
That's
because
exactly
I don't
right.
know what to. I don't know. Will it be posted like now? Is
No,
it live?
it'll be early next week.
Oh, okay.
So now that they're listening to this, it'll be now. All right, dude. I'm so glad you did this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're gonna roll on out of here. Booba, take us home.
All right.
Bye.